Modern civilization is possible, in part, due to the rule of law. Laws, as well as the enforcement of them, serves as a force to make it too expensive or too risky for a crime to be committed because it doesn't pay well enough. We only need to count on that, of course, in the absence of a decent moral compass in a society. So, when certain cybercrimes were committed in the past, law enforcement could collect evidence and, through the cooperation of big tech companies or organizations, very often successfully could disrupt a criminal organization. And this still happens on a regular basis, like we saw a few weeks ago when the FBI did a takedown of ispoof.cc. Now, what happens when we build technology for which there is no takedown possible? What if the C2, the command and control, runs on Tor, the onion router? What if it runs on a blockchain? And that is what we are seeing now. This botnet now continues to thrive despite Google's attempts to disrupt it. Now, no tech company or law enforcement, for that matter, can execute a takedown. An effective protective measure, though, is to ensure that Tor access isn't allowed on your network. Now, there's no question that there's value in having Tor as a technology for legitimate whistleblowers, as an example, but we find it as being used more for harm than good. So we do have to go out of our way these days to ensure our devices cannot access Tor. Now, there's this self-assembling malware that hides itself inside of HTML and SVG files that actually self-assembles itself as Qbot malware. And so to protect systems from HTML smuggling attacks like this, you need to make sure that JavaScript or VBScript execution is blocked for downloaded content. We aren't concerned only about Windows and Mac OS systems being vulnerable anymore, because Linux vulnerabilities can also be chained. So Linux systems require the same level of scrutiny nowadays, as well as patching and securing our posture as we do for any other type of device. Microsoft has recently informed us that drivers certified by the Windows Hardware Developer Platform were being used maliciously in post-exploitation activity. What this means is that signed drivers, legitimate drivers, have been used and are being used in the wild to kill endpoint detection, to kill antivirus processes before they do their damage. This is pretty sneaky, so paying attention is worthwhile. And there's a groundbreaking FTC order from 2021 that actually banned SpyPhone and its parent company, Support King, and its chief executive, Scott Zuckerman, from the surveillance industry. But what's interesting is these guys are back in all but name in a new phone spy system, and it's worthwhile to understand that this is primarily on Android, and make sure that you keep your device clean. And did you know that Apple's new Freeform app is available on iOS 16.2 and macOS 13.1 and later? It's basically a blank digital whiteboard, and Gizmodo Australia has a very nice walkthrough on it. I'm certainly looking forward to making that part of my workflow. Thanks for watching. See you again next week, and Merry Christmas.